Hello, this is Anita LaRaia with the first 6 of the poems I've written and copyrighted for my new book, Turn the Corner. This one is a memoir called White Roses and Pussy Willows. Dad planted pussy willows at the front of our house that grew tall enough to reach our second-story windows. In the spring, when their soft kitten fur heads, as big as my young girl's thumb, burst into yellow bloom, their sweet, subtle scent made glorious the air from our open windows. And in summer, as school ended and my birthday marked the calendar, the entire right side of our house was an ecstatic celebration of a multitude of double-sized white roses, whose unparalleled creamy pink and pearl color a constant inspiration for our fresh complexion and souls. I bury my face in those long-ago blooms in remembrance of the roaring tiger dad who planted them and made me fierce and fearless, and the saintly singing farm girl mom who told me, turn the corner and you will move from the darkness into the light. The next one is called Mirror Image and Something More. It is a challenge to both men and women. Grandfather, father, brother, uncle, nephew, husband, boyfriends, and sons, dismiss me if you dare. You will be the first to look away. Eyes downcast, you have seen our truth, and it is mighty. Women are for you something more. Mirror image of the best part of yourself. You cannot be a god without a goddess. There is no universe to master, for we are mistress of your destiny. Leading the forces of good, we stand directly in the path of evil, brave beyond our bodies. We expect you to join us, fight with us, not against us, and not amongst yourselves. You're wasting valuable time in denial and defiance when without our love, compassion, and nurturing spirit, there literally will be nothing to come home to. It's been a man's world, and its current state of implosion is on you. Grandmother, mother, sister, aunt, niece, wife, girlfriends, and daughters, command respect, plan your protection, and live up to your highest calling, or it's on us. The next poem I wrote for my friend Nancy Ivy's high school class, Advanced Placement Human Geography. The poem is entitled Holding Hands, Metaphysics. Harmony converged on the park August 16th to 17th, 1987, as we gathered worldwide to take the hands of strangers and make a circle of unity around the globe. Imagine the energy of this human God particle generator as we held tight for peace. Surprising who was on either side of us. Everyone. Reconnected and proving what separates us are false beliefs, not distance, religion, or tribe. Be there or be part of the problem. No one wanted to be the first to let go. Cynical was not an option, for we could see the long line of ancestry that placed us on earth. Threads of time, of DNA, from the mother of all of us out of Africa. Lower mind and higher mind are in our makeup throughout the history of war, migration, feast, and famine. Survival has always required cooperation, and yes, charity. Be an island if you choose. We must all go to that mountaintop for wisdom. But what good is there if it isn't shared? Don't hold on to riches, but to each other, or we may end up clutching ashes instead of enlightenment. The next one is called River Leaves and Muskrat Stillness. Family pain through the alchemy of writing turned into art. Financial crisis overturned, but only with nature as the midwife. It's autumn and leaves are falling from the crimson, burgundy, orange, and neon yellow trees into the river. Some leaves are big and flat, making a splash like skipping stones. Seemingly efficient rafts navigating the swift stream, they are soon sunk by the curling waves of rushing white water. Other leaves, having duck shapes, expertly float, bobbing up and down as they swim for their lives in the swift current. Although taking the first dips of the rapids well, Unlike real ducks, they become waterlogged, completely losing their shape and buoyancy, the only ones of their kind who make it down the river, adapted by changing their profile. Smaller, less impressive leaves proved to be the master helmsman, steering closer to shore as the river tried its best to batter them. But by taking the slower route closer to the bank, they made it all the way downstream. Lessons whispered to me by the breeze. Reward for this stillness, my superpower, is the companion who climbs out dripping wet onto the rock next to me. Impossibly red-haired muskrat with a vertical flat tail sits calmly eating shellfish, then begins grooming. This one is called Nuns on the Bus. Teach the teacher. To this day, we don't know how Dad afforded it, but he sent us all to Catholic school taught by the Sisters of St. Joseph. Those cloistered nuns were tough. Angels in full black habits, starched white wimples with rosary and cross waist belts. Dedication and discipline were their holy orders and the basis for our higher learning. It was Sister Rose Gertrude who forced me to become a writer. In 8th grade, my assignment was to write a play for the class and to give every child a part that fit their personality. To say I was petrified of disappointing her faith in me is an understatement. How could I have known that the talent nurtured by these otherworldly nuns could lead to a worldly career? From my valedictorian speech on moral complacency at age 17 to the scholarships that sent me to Cornell and degrees in social psychology, these truly chaste brides of Christ planted the seeds of my future income from hundreds of published articles and thousands of my own adult students. Unblemished in spirit, fiery gurus burning with divine love for us, the only children they would ever have. For a girl like me, nuns were strong, womanly role models that made me feel the equal of anyone. How can men in the Catholic Church hierarchy possibly find fault with American nuns on the bus? A lifetime of sacrifice is not disobedience. You've heard my poems, now I ask you, did the nuns do right by me? Please, Holy Father Francis, do right by them. And finally, 50 Shades and envisage nothing. Predator or prey are the only choices you offer. Is it any wonder a Hollywood star backed out of playing your hero? He is neither Christian nor gray, but rather predominantly and contractually black as mortal sin, and a criminal even if the Virgin signs. May every titillated young girl or woman who reads this rubbish wise up. Sick men need no additional excuses for hurting you. Rape is not sexy. Ask the 3 kidnapped and imprisoned young women who escaped from that vile but so ordinary man's house of shame, or the many unknown girls murdered worldwide, dumped like trash by their killers. I'm a former Londoner, but Mrs. British housewife E.L. James, your writing is as false as your name and has no redeeming value whatsoever. Your trilogy incites abuse of women. Right your wrong and spend the foolish millions you've made on appropriate domestic violence charities for Queen and country. Thank you.